Hey guys, welcome to today's Vehicle Visionary. I've had some requests in the past to feature a 2021 version of the GMC Yukon Denali. And as you can see, today that's exactly what we're going to do. Today I'm at Morgan GMC in Shreveport, Louisiana. My first trip here, but I'm sure we'll have many more in the future. And as always, if there's any information you want to know about this model that I didn't necessarily cover in the video itself, there's always a link to the dealership's website on this particular vehicle down in the description of the video. And of course, if you ever go to that description, say maybe it's a couple of months after I published the video and you don't see the vehicle when you click on the description, that means it's been sold. But of course, you can search through the dealer's inventory as you get to the website, basically. So as you can see, this is of course the fully redesigned version for the 2021 model year. There are a lot of changes inside and out and a lot of really nice features. But as you can see, this is a pretty beefy looking model. A lot of nice features here. When you walk up to the vehicle and open the doors, here's what you're going to get. The steps are automatic. They're automatically going to come out whether you open the front or rear doors. And of course, as you can see, when the door closes, it's not immediate, but they will go back up under the vehicle, so kind of stowed away there. And everything just looks really nice. It just, if you don't necessarily know what's there, you're not going to necessarily see it until somebody opens the door, and it's kind of a surprise. And of course, that works on the front and rear. So as you can see, the same thing with both. And we'll take a closer look at what you can expect with the transmission later on, because the shifter is completely different on these models. And if you saw the video I did on the Chevrolet Suburban and the Tahoe, even though this is a push button shifter in this model, it's a little bit different than what it is in those models. So it just kind of separates things apart. And of course, as you can see here, this is what you have under the hood. I'm putting the information on the screen for you so you know what's what you have as far as power and performance goes. And if you watch me regularly, guys, tell me what is under the hood here that is definitely one of my favorite features that just makes opening the hood a whole lot easier. We'll work our way around. Of course, there are multiple safety features. Again, I will list those on the screen. I don't list every single one because there's just so many. So again, if you want to know more about that, hit that link in the description to the dealership's website. Now, one of the more exciting areas here on the Yukon Denali is going to be back here in the cargo area. You've got a lot of storage here, to say the very least. And we'll lift the floor up here to show you some of the additional storage. Of course, there's your tire iron and all that good stuff if you ever need to change a tire. But here's the nice thing. You have a multitude of numbers on cargo space. And again, that's going to vary depending on what you do. And you can lower these seats in the rear and the center seats automatically with these buttons right here. So let's do that. I'm going to hit both at the same time just so these will both go down. And as you can see, you actually need to hold that button down. Now that one, I'm going to have to move that one down just a little bit. Let's take care of that. Sometimes you have to move these seats up a little bit just to make things a little bit easier. And of course, in that situation, there is one of your options for cargo space, but you can go even further with that. These two buttons towards the front right here, those are for your center seats, and you hold that down and they're going to go down as well. But here's the interesting thing. Once they go down, see that? I hit the button a second time. I'm going to show you. I'm going to hit this button a second time for the right side seat. You hit it twice, and it's going to raise those seats all the way up. And sometimes they won't go all the way up depending on where the front seat is. You can see that's taking just a little bit of time. Not a big deal. But that's how you completely maximize your cargo space. Now, you'll have to manually bring those seats back. You can't bring them back automatically, but the rear seats, well, it's a different story. Just holding down both buttons at the same time, and those automatically come back up into place. And of course, as you can see, you even have some tie-down areas right there as well if you wish to take advantage of that. Of course, you do have a fully power rear lift gate. And as we're looking here, of course, you do have the dual exhaust on each side, so technically I guess you could call that quad exhaust. And again, fully power lift gate right there. You have a multitude of options for opening and closing that. Now let me show you one thing, guys, here with this lift gate. If you ever run into a situation where you come back here to open the lift gate and you hit the button and it won't open, let me show you what that may likely be. I actually had somebody in a video recently that I put up, one of the tutorials I did, where I mentioned this to them. Right here, this is the button that you use to determine how far the lift gate opens, or you can actually lock it from here where it won't open at all. It just stays locked. So just a simple little trick there that might help you out to avoid some frustration. Of course, when you look on the doors here, the button right here, that's going to be your passive entry. So what that means, walk up to the vehicle. What I did by pushing that, because I have the remote in my pocket basically, and there's your remote. See, that's a nice looking remote. Change for the 2021 model year compared to what we've seen in the past. And then I'll walk back up again, and I've opened or unlocked the doors again. Same with the rear doors here. Now, while I've got the seats folded up, let's hop into the third row. If you want to bring the seat back as the rear seat passenger, you're just gonna pull on that little latch right there, lock that down into place. Then you can pull that and bring it back into place, just in the event that somebody doesn't do that for you. And then when it comes to getting back out of the back seat, that's what your button right here is for. There's one on each side for the rear seat passengers right here. That's going to put that down, and then you can push that a second time. And just like we looked at in the rear, the seats are going to fold all the way up. Of course, you have a cup holder, a little bit of storage right here, and a USB port, and basically the mirror image over here on the passenger side of the vehicle, and quite a bit of space. And here we go, guys, something I know a lot of you asked for on these models of GM SUVs, full-size SUVs in the past. You've got a panoramic sunroof. Of course, the front does slide open, but a really nice view here for your rear seat passengers. Very easy to get into the back seat, as you can see, with these seats completely out of the way. Very, very nice. We'll hop back out here. Of course, you do have the Denali door sills right here. Just nice craftsmanship right there. Make the vehicle look really nice, really high-end, which is exactly what it is. And to put the seat back down, you can just push down on that and basically just lift up on it, and then you can slide it back into place. Now, as you can see, of course, let me hop back out here just so you can get a little bit better view here. I like the size of the door bins. You have the upper bin right here and the lower bin here. A lot of space for a large bottle right there. You could fit a very large bottle there, and just storage for whatever else you want to put in that area. And of course, as you can see, you've got the screens back here, keep your rear seat passengers entertained, and tri-zone climate control. You have the dual zone in the front and your third zone right back here that your rear seats can control, whether it's fan speed or temperature. And the good news, of course, you've got multiple USB ports here. And something else we're going to see, multiple. Let's see if I can give you a better view of that. There we go. That stays up. There is your power outlet. A very nice feature and plenty of room. There is increased room back here compared to what we've seen in previous years. Again, here on the passenger side, well, kind of an obvious thing, but the same thing with the power side step. When you open the door, whether it's the front or the rear, you're going to have that step automatically come out. Power seats, fully adjustable for the passenger and the driver here. And just kind of the same basic thing here with the door bins. And as you can see right here, very nice materials. And guys, that's not cheap. Continues on here onto the dashboard, and you have a very nice large infotainment screen here. And we'll take a closer look at that in just a minute. And just in the interest of fair reporting, yep, you got a pretty deep, I can pretty much put my entire arm in there. That's how deep your glove box is. So let's hop up here into the front seat real quick. Just look over a couple of things here with your controls for the headlights. Quite a bit going on here, in fact. And you also have a heads-up display. I don't know if you'll be able to see that today because it's so bright, but these are the controls for the heads-up display. Whether you control its position, the information, or the brightness on that. Power parking brake right there, and a fully adjustable steering wheel. It is power, so nothing manual there. As you would expect with the Denali, everything is as high-end as it can be. So hopefully we can block out a little bit of the sun here. Gonna go ahead and hit the ignition button here. And as you can hear, you got plenty of horsepower under the hood. Even though this is a fairly large and heavy vehicle, it does get down the road nicely. As you can see, there's your dashboard. Everything nice and easy to access there. Now you can make some adjustments here and go through a lot of information. You can change what you're seeing. I'm not going to run through every single little detail, but as you can see, that's everything you can run through. Even display right there. You just got everything at your fingertips here, literally. Very, very simple to use. And if this is new technology to you guys, if you've never had a vehicle like this before and you're thinking, wow, that's way too many bells and whistles for me, I promise you, it's super easy to use. In fact, I call it the hunt and peck method. You just kind of search your way around, and let's just say you found something you wanted to look at. The little dial here on the steering wheel, the rotary dial, when you find something you want to select, just going to push down on that. There you go. Super easy, super simple, not a big deal at all. Now here's the shifter. This is what I was talking about. No shifter on the column right here, no shifter down here on the console. It's a push button shifter, not hard to use. So all you're going to do, you're going to pull on the R to go into reverse. You're going to push on the N to go into neutral, and again pull on drive right there. And as you can see, you have multiple camera views here. And here's something that's really nice, guys. If you're sitting still, you're not in gear. Let's just say not sitting still, but you're in park, and you want to go in and take a look around the vehicle. You don't have to put the vehicle into gear. You don't have to go into reverse to use the rear camera, the rear view camera. Everything is accessible right here through the infotainment screen. A very simple system to use, guys. Again, if you've never used this before, it's just as easy as it can be. And you can return home. See these buttons right here? You've got your radio volume, and you can mute the button right, or mute the radio right there as well. You also have a home button right there. You also have home here on the screen, but if you go to a different screen and you don't know where the home button is, or you don't see it, you've got it down here as well. A couple of other buttons you can use to help navigate everything. A very simple infotainment screen to use. GM's been using this one for a few years now. It came out with a refresh of some of the models in 2019, and I've seen it on a lot of them. Very simple to use, very easy. Of course, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. If you're not familiar with what that is, that allows you to pair your phone, and basically your infotainment screen kind of mirrors your phone essentially. So you're able to pretty much get into your contacts, look at everything you need to, whatever the case may be. Everything is here that you need to control, whether it's audio, phone. Of course, you've got your navigation. You've got settings right here. If you're not familiar with that, there is so much here. Again, I would have an hour or longer video if we tried to cover every single thing. And of course, here at the top, you've got a few more selections. There you've got Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. So it's going to be under apps. You can go in and look at this. Very easy to select if you want to go to, let's just say, climate. Well, there you go. And you've got several different selections for your heated and cooled seats. You can turn that off and on right there. And that's not the only place you can do that, but just kind of multiple options depending on what you want to do. And then, of course, you have vehicle right here. If you want to use the rear seat reminder, you can do that right there. Basically, what that's going to do is remind you that maybe you got some precious cargo back there that maybe you forgot about. Whatever the case is, very easy. Lighting. Again, guys, super, super simple to use. Very, very nice. And valet mode, if you're not familiar with that, that's helpful if somebody valets your vehicle to be able to control what they can and can't do with it. If something goes wrong, you're going to know. Even teen driver right there. You can use that. That's going to basically change how the vehicle operates. And if I remember correctly, I believe until the driver has their seatbelt on, it will not go into gear. Try and develop that habit right there. And suspension right here, guys. You have service mode, something you probably won't need to worry about, but just something to take a look at. You know, I like to look around in these vehicles and see what's here, but everything is so simple. And of course, again, like I said earlier, there's a different view of your panoramic sunroof. Here are the controls for the sunroof right here. For the shade, we're going to close the shade, or excuse me, that's going to actually open up the sliding portion of the sunroof right there. And we'll bring that back up. So on the left-hand side, I had that wrong. On the left-hand side, there is the power portion of the sunroof. In the middle is going to be the button for your shade. And all you can do is pull on it. You don't have to hold it down. It's automatically going to bring that up for you. Everything is here that you could imagine, probably a lot more. And of course, dual zone climate control. I mentioned this is tri-zone climate control here in this vehicle. Here's your dual zone climate control. You can sync that if you want to, so that as you change the temperature on one side, it changes on both, or as it's set right now, you can just change one at a time for the driver and passenger. And here's some more good information to know about. You have a wireless charging pad right here for your cell phone. Again, USB ports. There is another one of those. There's a 12-volt power outlet, I should say, right there. And then, of course, you can open your cup holder or conceal that away. 2 cup holders right there. And one thing I really like about these GM vehicles, you've always got a nice large console. Let me get that out of there. Again, I can get way down in there because there is just so much space. You might have a challenging time filling all of that up. So as you can see, the 2021 GMC Yukon Denali is quite a fantastic vehicle. And tell me what GMC vehicles you want to see me feature here on Vehicle Visionary, guys. Now that we've got our foot in the door here at the dealership, which I greatly appreciate the opportunity to come and do this, now we can start featuring more vehicles. Thank you for taking the time to watch, guys. I look forward to seeing you in my next video.